All right, let's talk about ICM real quick. Everyone's talking about internet capital markets. No one's shown proof it can work at scale yet. ICM might not replace the indie hacker route, but it could be a powerful second path. Let me explain real quick. Currently, ICM at scale, it's still unproven. No large-scale breakout case yet. Believe might lead the way as the leading infra for launching ICM projects, but that's still to be determined. And current ICM projects are still relatively niche on a large scale, and the infra is pretty young. I could argue we have a few breakout cases with Glad, Polykill, etc., and I'll get into those in a little bit more. But right now, most Web2 founders I'm talking to and are chasing a product hunt listing, something like that, try to get ranked up high, get from 3 to 4 figures of MRR, and essentially just playing the slow game. And it isn't a substitute for real MRR. Now, ICM fee revenue is not the same thing as having a paying customer, right? Fee revenue is based by speculators who engage in volume trading, from which then you get paid fees, which effectively, to a founder, gets treated as MRR. So from a funding aspect, it's very similar, but from the aspect of your actual product, it doesn't have much correlation with it. Now, we all know that paying customers is going to be a much higher value asset to acquire than a token speculator, but ICM can supplement early monetization, and this is especially good for freemium B2C models, though we've seen it work pretty good in a few B2B models as well. It can help those B2B, or even in some cases we haven't seen it yet, but enterprise models go from the beta to the production value solely based off of accumulated fees, money essentially from the initial ICM launch, as well as the fees being generated. And going back to the MRR versus ICM revenue, and ICM's alternative launch strategy, the old model traditionally is build, raise, product, maybe go TGE later. This is within our space. And the ICM model is launch token early, build in public, community-based, helping that early stage pre-seed level startup go from that pre-seed seed level eventually to a series. And comparing this to how founders were doing this already, but there was no founder-led infra to help perpetuate this, is that if you were using your own or alternative infra, pump fund, whatever it may be, then you were almost destined to fail. It was a ticking time bomb until you ran out of funds, and also if your launch went bad, it's into your thing at that point, right? So this unlocks founder-led go-to-market path without needing VCs day one. And for Shift here is that it's founder-led at scale. Before building large scale without VC backing nearly impossible. Now this could enable different protocols that need those security audits and other high upfront costs without having a VC funding and being tightly bootstrapped. And fund teams growth for audits all pre-revenue. And the VC compatibility thing is changing as well. And I think that's one of the most important aspects here is that early on token launch usually is a case of death for VC funding, right? Because if they weren't part of the TGE, they're not going to want to fund. But now we're seeing some of the top projects raise incubator accelerator funds alongside a ICM TGE launch and also build MRR at the same time. So you're serving a real customer base and everything like that. Now, ICM isn't perfect. It's not an indie hacker 2.0 route, but it's a parallel path. And sometimes, as we're seeing right now, it can be the better path. Do I think the Believe ecosystem, the Believe launchpad is the final form of ICM? Maybe not. But ICM as a mechanism certainly is here to stay. And if you're building a B2C freemium protocol or product, ICM might just be your best shot. Though I am not trying to close you down to running a B2C app. It's just very well suited for these type of ventures relative to B2B or enterprise ventures. And if you're curious if ICM could work for your project, just drop a comment. We can talk. Shoot me a DM. And follow for more on zero employee companies, ICM, and solo building strategies.